I'm Jeff McBiceps. As always, it never changes between streams, but I'm gonna say it every time anyways. Welcome to SWOLE Sunday. It's the best day of the week. Today's the day we're gonna look at a whole bunch of buff dudes. We're gonna analyze their muscles. We're gonna do all the other things that you do when you see buff guys. News before we start SWOLE Sunday. Before we start looking at all these beautiful guys. First of all, I finally got my second monitor. I have been trying to for a little while now. I've been waiting for it to go on sale, and Boxing Day is as good a sale as any. Turns out where I live, Boxing Day is a holiday. So I went to go get it yesterday. I ordered it online for pickup, and everything was closed. I was like, what the heck is happening? I've never even bothered going out on Boxing Day before, but that's the way it went. But it's fine. I went and picked it up this morning, and I got home, and it turns out that I only have one working HDMI port. So I had to go back out, and this time I had to wait in line to go into the store, and I probably waited half an hour in the cold just for this stupid little adapter to, what's it called, DisplayPort? Either way, I have two monitors working now. It's probably why you're noticing my eyes and head are kind of all over the place. All of a sudden, I'm looking everywhere. I'm not focused in one spot. So my eyes tend to be over here when I'm watching this screen, and then finally, all of you guys are over here on this screen. I don't have to use my phone for chat. I can just stare at you over here in the live chat, and that's exciting because my phone chat broke most of the time. Other news, I got my protein with me. That's the other news. Here it is right here, listen. That's it. That's 2 scoops of, what did I put in here? Chocolate cake flavor. 2 scoops chocolate cake flavor, 1 scoop creatine. Getting all pumped for my workout tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. So on today's schedule, we're gonna do SWOLE Sunday. We're gonna do some protein drinking. We're gonna do some muscle admiring, all together. And SWOLE Sunday's over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and look over here. And before I start, there won't be a fan service shot today. I know, it's tragic. But today's the one day of the week where we focus on everyone else's muscles instead of mine. And that's what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and look at SWOLE Sunday. I've got it right here. Okay, so if this is your first SWOLE Sunday, pretty much we're just going to go through the bodybuilding subreddit. That's about it. It's the best place to look at muscles. I could do like an Instagram thing, but it's all over the place, and it just feels a lot easier this way. So we're going to look at the bodybuilding subreddit. We're probably going to do the first 2 pages of Hot or so. That's what we did last week. I'm a little nervous about this week. I'm worried that SWOLE Sunday peaked last weekend, because last weekend was the Olympia. We had that historic win by Big Ramy, and Chris Bumstead retained his title. And it was so hype in here. And I'm hoping there's residual hype. I'm hoping there's something fun that we can look at. So let's go ahead and start at the very top. Pick your favorite. Well, I mean, if anyone else wants to pick their favorite, feel free to go right ahead. What's my favorite though? I don't know. These are all pretty good shoulders. Look at the shelf on A though. Like, if there's an indent, you could like balance some quarters in there if you wanted to. You could put a marker in there. These other ones, they're all very, like the depth on this one, that's impressive. This one's also very shelf-like. This one's very wide. But there's something about how freaky this shelf is. This indent. It's a shelf, and then oh man, that's bananas. I think A is my favorite. It's just got that freak factor. Is there H and C are the same person? Where's the tattoo? It must be a different point in time. C looks like a pumpkin? Oh, I looked at the wrong one. You're right. C and H. It does look like a pumpkin. You're correct. E. No one else likes A? A looks like an effing space tumor. Absolutely revolting. And here I thought A was impressive. You know, it's not the most aesthetic. I'll give them that. It's not the best looking of these muscles. It is definitely freaky. I wouldn't want it myself. I just like it because it's freaky. But apparently that's not ideal. But that's fine. But all in all, good start to Swole Sunday. These are a bunch of really nice shoulders. And that's all there is about that. These silhouette shots of Brandon and Big Ramy at the Olympia look awesome. They probably do. Okay, that's definitely Brandon, because that's not big enough to be Big Ramy. Sex sip of protein. Yeah, I mean, that does look pretty awesome. I'd kill to look like that. That's all there is to say about it. I mean, the Olympia, we talked about the Olympia so much last week. I think Brandon Curry looked amazing. Big Ramy was just a completely different freak of nature, which is probably why, you know, he won. Yeah, I mean, look at the size difference. That's crazy. Look at the shape of Big Ramy's quad. Look how far that sticks out. That's absolute madness, and his lat is flat on the bottom. It's funny because when you look at these silhouette shots, I don't think they do a great job showing why Big Ramy won the Olympia. Because if you showed this to somebody, they'd probably think that this was a more aesthetic, like pleasing to the eye shot than this is. But pretty much every single other pose where, you know, you can actually see them and they're not just silhouettes, Big Ramy just looked absolutely insane. But this does show, like, if this is the second place physique, first place better be damn good. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm not gonna watch YouTube videos. I'm here to look at men. I'm not a reaction channel, am I? Legend after building pyramid. I mean, I don't even. Yeah, I think I looked at this exact same picture last week. It's amazing. He's friggin' huge. He has lats. He's the lats of a Greek god. And, well, I mean, maybe an Egyptian god too. I've never seen an Egyptian god's lats before to compare. But what I can tell you is that he's huge. Made to another stream. Vi! Long time no see. And by long time, I mean, like, what? Half a week or so? I'm glad to see you, though. You're here just in time to look at giant, muscly guys with me. Yeah, we looked at the same picture last week. He's still huge. There's still a very good reason that he won the Olympia, and there it is. Look at the size of that man. That's not pictures. If Chris Bumstead and Ramy switched waists. Okay, so this is interesting. I like this a lot. This is I'm pretty sure that how big do these medals have to be to still look big on these guys? They're probably huge. I don't know. I'll never touch one in my life. I have no idea. Yeah, okay, so this is the Photoshop. This is real. This photo is really funny to me. I wish we could see the winners next to each other more often, because this really does show the tremendous difference between the classic physique category and the men's open category. Swole Sunday, I know, it's the best day of the week. It's the most exciting day of the week. So these are the two winners. This is Classic Physique Olympia winner, Chris Bumstead, and this is Open Physique. Why can't... Okay, just give me a sec. Let me drink some protein. Let me get my tongue on straight. This is Men's Open Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy. So these are our two winners, right next to each other. You can see why they divided Classic and Open in a picture like this. Because Open is all about, at this point in time, being huge and shredded at the same time. And that is the bar that Ramy set last week. He came in bigger than everybody, and also more shredded than almost everybody. Arguably, I would say the fourth place guy was more shredded than Ramy was. But when you come in as big and shredded as Ramy, it's just, like, the bar was raised to an absolutely new level. And it's going to be interesting to see how people try to top that next year. But Classic, which is this side of the picture over here, is all about being, like, aesthetic. You have to have that nice flow to your physique. Like, in this photo, it's not exactly a good angle for Ramy. But he looks blocky, and that's because the guy is like 300 pounds of muscle. Um, but it's interesting seeing them side by side like that. It makes Chris's legs look tiny. It does, doesn't it? Like, these are not small legs. These are large legs. These are just absurd legs. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, you can see the difference in the waist. Chris is known for doing the vacuum thing, where he makes his waist look absurdly tiny. His waist is always tiny, but he does this whole, like, he vacuums it all in, and kind of makes it go in like that. It looks amazing when he does it. But you can definitely see why they separate kind of the mass monsters from those more aesthetic physiques into their own categories, because, you know, you can't judge these by the same criteria. But here's the photoshopped waists. I mean, it just looks funny. I don't think it looks bad on Rami, but a thinner waist to a bigger upper body is always going to look good. But it looks so freaking weird on Chris, which is probably why he's mastered this whole tiny waist vacuum thing. Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad someone thought to do that. Lower chest, that sounds like lifting advice. When you feel big at the gym, and Big Rami walks in. Oh, we got a video! Let's look. Oh, that's loud. Let me, hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. It's loud on me, and I only have my volume at 2. Pretty much all we saw there was... we compared them in the last 2 photos, but I mean, Rami's huge, Chris is impressive. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said literally 20 seconds ago. I don't think we need to rewatch that. Rip Rich Piana. I saw this picture of IFBB Pro Ronaldo guy. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, Ronaldo. Dressed as Jack Santa, and I had to share it. Usually Santa has to worry about his belly not fitting through the chimney, but Ronaldo's delts are too big to fit through the chimney. That's a big ol' Santa. This is the Santa that I like to imagine coming down my chimney. When I get all kinds of protein at at Christmas, this is what I imagine. This is the guy right here. I kind of wish it was sleeveless Jack Santa, though. I was really hoping there were going to be no sleeves. This guy's favorite body part to train would be hamstrings. That's really small, my guy. I mean, that's a pretty beefy hamstring. I'll give him that. He's a big dude. But, I mean, that's all I really have to say about that. I came here hoping for Olympia hype. Not that there's anything wrong with this guy. It is nice to see some people that aren't, you know, Mr. Olympia winners on the subreddit. That is a beefy hamstring. He's correct. Good on you, my guy. Most people, my favorite body part to train is the arms. Mine is the chest, and this guy's like, nope. Hamstrings. I can respect it. I can respect it. Does every bodybuilder lose the jawline after getting a certain amount of mass? I mean, if your neck is swole, maybe. Am I gonna have to zoom right in again? I mean, it's not that bad. Like, the body fat difference between these two photos... Like, he's shredded in both. But he's probably a little bit more lean here than he is here. And that's probably all there is to it. I mean, you can't stay this lean 24/7. You can see every single striation in the guy's midsection. He's probably carrying more water weight here. I don't know. I think it feels weird to judge a guy on his jawline when his arms are bigger than most people's quads. Just let the guy have his face. Just let his face be whatever his face becomes. I'm not gonna go to Steroid Saturday. I'm pretty new to bodybuilding and doing classic physiques. Classic physique. What is with my tongue tonight? It's terrible. My goodness. Oh, it's a video. I don't get it. Am I missing something? You know what? Probably. I imagine. Ah, I see. I was a little confused. This is more of a... It's fine, it's fine. There's nothing to look at here. Disappointing. Merry Christmas, subreddit bodybuilding. Near the end of week 8 of Rich's cycle. Ask him anything. That's a big guy. That is a huge... Does it say how tall he is? 5'10". This guy looks like it's probably, you know, the result of having the camera on the floor. But this guy looks like 6 feet tall, at least. Crazy. Apparently I have been skipping my tongue reps. I can't talk tonight. It's crazy. I need this protein. I need it to start getting through my veins. I need it to permeate me entirely. This is a big guy. Like I said, he looks way taller than he is. That's crazy. I mean, what do I say? He's an impressive guy. He's a big dude. Did it say how much he weighs? 263 pounds. Yeah. Oh man, this is the best. Imagine getting to sit back once a week and just look at muscles like this. This is so good. It's so good. Best day of the week, Swole Sunday. Absolutely love it. That's a big guy. That is a very big man. Some stage pics by Will Whitman. That's a stash. That's a nice stash. Look at that. Of course, this is Swole Sunday. I should be looking at the guy's muscles, which are also quite shredded. I mean, look at the guy's bicep vein. But look at the stash. There's something about a good stash in bodybuilding. Oh, and look at the vacuum. It's funny because this picture looks kind of like that that Photoshop photo of Chris from earlier. But that's probably only because Chris probably has wider lats than this guy, I would imagine. But I mean, hey, it's still a good body. It's still a shredded, muscular body. I'm not going to be picky. That's exactly what I came here to look at. Look at the stash, though. A good stash brings it all together. Bumstead brings the stash, too, on Olympia. So good. I wish I could grow a good stash like that. I mean, I'm sure I could, but it tends to get itchy after a while. And it really drives me bananas. Ronnie Coleman screaming. Well, I'm going to say prep your ears and maybe turn your sound down. Is what my advice is going to be before I open this. My volume's at the lowest it goes. It's popping my headphones. I'm glad somebody took the time to do this. Man, imagine having this amount of mass. I would kill to see peak Ronnie Coleman and Big Ramy next to each other. I would like to see how Big Ramy, as our modern mass monster, holds up, standing right next to Ronnie Coleman at his prime. This is really loud, though. I'm gonna exit this. I wonder how Ronnie Coleman's doing. I know he had a bunch of surgeries. I hope he's doing okay. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have more to say about that, hence the pause. But I actually don't have anything more to say. I just hope that I hope he's doing well. Yeah, I know that he was in a wheelchair last I think I saw him, but a guy with that much determination, I can't imagine he stays down for long. 2 months since I had sudden cardiac arrest. Not gonna let this slow me down. Is there a picture? Sudden cardiac arrest, that's horrifying. Hell yeah, look at those gains! Oh yeah. You got it, dude. 24 tongue reps. Damn it, I'm doing 10 tongue reps right now. I did it. I don't think that was 10. But it was a little bit more obnoxious than I thought it was going to be when I started. Vlad Suho looking fully blown in his off season. Oh my goodness! Jeez! There was that guy earlier in the stream, the 5'10", 200 whatever pound guy. I opened up his pictures and I was like, wow, look, that's a big guy. That's really nice. Oh my god! Look at this guy! Look at the size of his legs! Look at the size of his arms! It's funny. I was talking about the difference between open and classic, and how classic they wanted that like really aesthetic structure. I don't know if this is an aesthetic structure, but this is freaky. Jeez. Remember, it was the first thing we looked at today, the pick your favorite shoulder. I was admiring that one shoulder for being so freakishly huge that it had like an indent. This guy has that indent too. Oh my goodness. Imagine walking around with this amount of mass. Do you fit through doors? Do you think this guy fits through doors? Wow. That is not something I expected to see. 24 years old, huh? 8 hours of sleep eating nothing but chicken rice and spinach. I kind of want to see what this guy looks like at like peak shred. I wonder what he looks like. Let me see. Let me open up a picture. Vlad Suho. No, there's nothing else. This is the only picture when you Google his name. Wow. Well, he could probably just make doorways if he wants. Probably. I wonder how much torque is on, like, or how much power is just in, like, a step for him. Like, if he bumped into someone, you think he'd notice? That's amazing. That's crazy. I wonder if we're gonna... that might be... Champion Big Ramy and Iconic Rich Piana. That might be the best thing we see today. I mean, Ramy's completely clothed. We can't look at him, and Piana was he was a monster. Rip. Rest in peace. What do you think about this Mr. Olympia? He is banned. Okay, it's Sean Roden. Okay. For those of you who've never heard of Sean Roden, he was the one who dethroned Phil, originally. 2018, I think. Sure, there's an how do I say this without saying this? There is investigations currently about Sean Roden's conduct in his personal life towards members of the opposite sex. And I'm going to leave it there. And, that's all I'm gonna say. There are investigations. I mean, he looked impressive. There was a reason he dethroned Phil. He came in and looked like... He brought the small waist back to men's open. He really did. And he deserved it the year that he won. I think it was impressive. But, that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's a video, and we're gonna skip the videos, because as much as I don't want to think that how do I say this? I hope we're not a reaction channel. We play games most of the time, we just look at muscly pictures on Sunday. That doesn't make us a reaction channel, does it? That's a food thread. I mean, hey, what's in the food thread? Crockpot an entire pack of chicken breasts. I don't like the consistency of crockpot chicken breasts. How soon after starting cutting do you need to see real results? I've been cutting at 3 weeks. Cheerios and chocolate milk. Lean meat and veggies. Fatty fish and veggies. Hey, here we go. We're getting diet tips. I mean, if you've ever tried to cut, there's nothing really revolutionary going on in here anyways. But it is nice having... If you're not meal prepping is great. Having all of your food, even if you just cook like just a bunch of beef or a bunch of chicken, just having it ready to go to throw into whatever you feel like that day makes a world of a difference in terms of cleaning up your eating. Is this as iconic as the quad stomp? I mean, that's an amazing photo. There's the quad stomp. If you're not familiar with the quad stomp is pretty much this guy, Jay Cutler, stomped his foot into the ground and flexed his quad, and it was all kinds of freaky. I mean, this is just a photo of Ramy walking out onto the stage. I don't think this in itself is iconic. I think that side tricep where, like, you could see the lines, like, digging into Ramy's hamstrings, I think that's going to be iconic. But, I don't know. I feel like this picture of Rami walking out is nowhere near as iconic as the quad stomp. But man, this guy's big too. It's funny, and I know Rami is not in the forefront of this picture, but if you put these next to each other, these two pictures next to each other, it would make Rami look small. Even though I think Rami might be bigger if you put these two next to each other. But I mean, Jay Cutler was also very, very freaky. Hence why, he can get this kind of size. There's something weirdly like this. There's 0% body fat on this man in this picture, and I mean that in an exaggerated way. But it's like, even though this is just pure muscle, somehow it still looks like it would be like squishy. I don't know why. Something about the upper body. Maybe he's just not flexed up here. That's probably what it is. Either way, the guy is still a monster. But yeah, I don't think you can compare these two photos. I think it'd be better to compare one of the better shots of Rami from this Olympia to Jay Cutler. Robbie influenced Lee. Lee and Robbie influenced Dorian. Oh, this is getting into some serious bodybuilding history now. This is before my lifetime, I think, maybe. I don't know what year this is from. But hey, look. Muscles. My favorite. This is not a very flattering photo of Dorian Yates at all, actually. But I mean, hey, he's still huge. But it's not like he's on stage posing or anything like that, so it's... But look at this bicep peak, though. I mean, that's not crazy. There's not a lot of tricep peakage going on here, though, because he's relaxed, which is a shame. Maybe somebody will post some swole Dorian on Yates on stage for us to look at. The Women's Champions of 2020. Who's the most impressive to you? Okay. I mean, that's impressive. And that's also impressive, and that's also impressive. I'm not going to even pretend to be good at analyzing what the judges are looking for when it comes to women's bodybuilding. But she's freaky. That one's the most impressive to me, I guess. Olympia prize money is an absolute sin to Classic. Classic is new, but those guys should definitely be making more money for their wins. Could Rami be dominant Mr. Olympia in the immediate future? If he does what he did this year every single year, he will be. Training Thursdays. I don't think we need to enter Training Thursdays. I think we're fine without that. Weak point Wednesday for the chest. Hey, you guys want to analyze your weak points? If your weak point is your chest, the main rule for these weekly threads will be that if you are not a verified competitor, you are not to give advice. That's fair. This is a bodybuilding sub. But I'm not going to take the time to read through all this on the stream. Mandatory Pose Wednesday. Going to go ahead and close Mandatory Pose Wednesday. I got a little bit excited. 2020 champs, Chris Bumstead and Rami. We already saw one comparison photo. I think this does a better job of showing the size difference between the two. Like the whole aesthetics on one half and size on the other. I think this is a more complementary pose for both of them. Though the lighting is not doing Rami a lot of favors. Being as Chris has the vacuum, so you can kind of see that. And Rami's obviously going for that most muscular pose, and it kind of makes him look like he has the outward, like the protruding stomach. But I know that he doesn't. We all saw him yesterday. He absolutely doesn't. Or not yesterday, last week. But yeah, I mean, how much more impressive muscles can you get in one photo? Collection of poses from Bobby Bandor. Which is your favorite? Oh, we're getting old school. Can I zoom in more? That's as far as I can zoom in? Okay. This guy's freaky. Is that? I think that's a penis. I think that's a penis. I think that's a penis. Okay. Paul Dillett had a freaky front double bicep. Who do you think has the best front double right now? Ooh, that's nice. I'm gonna stop and look at this for a second. When your body is so big it casts a shadow over itself, right? Look at this guy's shape. It's always so pleasing to me. Like, I know it's it's not usually what people are looking for in these contests, but there's something really satisfying about when all of the muscles are just like flat. Like how do I put this in words? Everything is very smooth. Like the abs are all there, but they're not like bulging forwards. It's very satisfying to the eye. Either way, those are some nice biceps. Ooh, that's impressive. Look at that quad. Look at those legs. I mean, the biceps are freaky. The biceps are like baseballs just sitting on top of the guy's arms, but look at the size of the legs, too. I wonder if these shorts can come back. Think these shorts can come back in style? Maybe we should all wear shorts like this for a summer and see if it catches on. "2020 Olympia had me realizing how close we are to a change of the guard." I'm assuming this is talking about the fact that Phil is kind of on his way out. Dexter and Phil are retiring, yeah. It's exciting. The next few years are going to be really exciting. Big Rami's and Nasser El Sun Body. Oh, come on. Give me some pictures. Nasser was crazy looking too. Nasser was a crazy impressive guy. Probably should have won 1997 Olympia. It's very, very hotly debated as to whether or not he deserved that win. Which shows, peak Nasser was obviously like top 2 in the world. There's no denying it. But I think that he was number 1 that year, personally. But that's just me. I'm no expert. Current champion with former champion. I mean, we saw the pictures of Rami kissing Phil's forehead last week, I'm pretty sure. I mean, what do you even say? Phil looks great here. It's funny, Phil looks fantastic in this photo. And this was just him relaxed after the contest was over. That's crazy. Look at the size of the guy's traps. They're like 4-dimensional. But those are nice legs too. Look at the front of his quads. Yeah, I mean, what do you say? Phil is a 7-time Mr. Olympia. Rami just won his first. Hopefully many more from Rami to come in the future. I think he's a great ambassador for the Mr. Olympia title. Why doesn't Arnold comment much? He probably doesn't like the shape. What would being 5'4" and 200 pounds look like? Is that even possible? Probably. Dexter Jackson, farewell. Dexter Jackson's last Olympia was this year. I mean, how old is the guy? I'm pretty sure he was getting... I don't want to say pretty old, because that kind of has a connotation, or a negative connotation to it. But how old is Dexter Jackson? He is 51 years old. Yeah, I mean, when you're 50, if this is still what you're doing, that's impressive to keep that going that long. So, good for him. Absolutely bananas he did it this long. He's a former Mr. Olympia, I think. And it was crazy seeing him on stage this year. I'm a little disappointed he didn't make top 6, but we had an absolutely freaky lineup this year, so it's not too surprising, I guess. It could have really been anybody, but it would have been nice to see him up there with the best of them one more time. And when I say the best of them, Olympia is like the top 20 or so guys in the world. They're all the best of them. Best of the best. It would have been nice to see him up there with like the top 4 guys, at least once. I think it would have meant a lot. And now we're here. 2 GOATs. In your opinion, who had the highest peak? I don't know. Let's see who they're talking about. Are we talking about... Is that young Phil? Jay Cutler and Phil Heath. I mean, Phil Heath is a 7-time Mr. Olympia. Jay Cutler is... How many times did Jay Cutler win? Jay Cutler. He is a... That's not the right Jay Cutler. Bodybuilder, please. 4-time Mr. Olympia. I mean, if you look at the numbers, Phil had the higher peak. Being a multi-time Mr. Olympia in itself, though, is already crazy. So, like, you're looking at 2 guys who are the best that there ever were, and trying to be like, which one of them was better. It was a completely different contest when the 2 of them competed. But, I mean, even Phil here looks amazing. I've never seen Phil's face look so thin, though. I think I only ever saw, like, peak mass Phil, where he's a bit older. It's weird seeing him so young. I didn't recognize him right away. Why do so many bodybuilders in pumping iron do half reps despite being absolutely jacked? Probably at the end of their sets. I don't know. Chris Bumstead's 1 year back progress and classic physique monster coming. I mean, we looked at Chris a whole bunch already last week. Crazy progress in a year. Usually once you're at the top of your game, you're not making improvements like this, but he did. So, I mean, good on the guy. And I said this a lot last week too, but you can see his chest from the back. Like, you can see the line of his upper chest from behind him. That's a freaky chest. But we discussed Chris's back so much already. He did it. That's pretty much all that's left to say about it. Classic physique. So this would be competing against Chris. I mean, that's freaky. That's really freaky. Instagram is never quite what you see on stage. And who knows what this would... I mean, that guy is pretty shredded. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think it depends on how tall he is. Anyone looks good by themselves on Instagram. I still don't. He does look like an open guy. Dude looks nothing like this, unfortunately. I mean... I just want to know how tall he is. Because that's the thing, is if you come in with a physique that's impressive like this, it's good to look good, but Chris is so tall that if you want to stand a chance against him, I think you have to be a comparable height. And it's unfortunate for guys who have these amazing bodies and are a bit shorter. Like, I think Rough Diesel looked great this year. But when you have someone who's just kind of, like, dwarfing you from a height perspective, it's really hard to stand up to them, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's an impressive body. I'm not gonna listen to the people in the comments who are saying that's not what he looks like. For my ignorant mind, I'm just gonna pretend that this is the dude's body, because it's more fun that way. However, that is page 2. And this, we don't get a ton of posts, so yeah, we're starting to get into things that we saw last week. So I guess that, oh wait, post-victory Rami with a killer crucifix pose. This will be the last thing we see. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, this does a much better job showing the aesthetics of Rami's physique. Like, that photo with Chris really made him look blocky, but when this is what he was looking like the night of his win. Like, that's bananas. Look at the size of his waist compared to his, like, lats and shoulders. And he does look good doing this pose. I think there's a reason some of these classic poses were phased out over time. And that's probably just because they appeal with, like, there's more appeal when you have that classic shape to you. But, I mean, hey, he already won without the crucifix pose. If he can master it in the next year, absolutely I'd love to see it, but I don't think he needs to. But, that's the end of SWOLE Sunday, I guess. It's been about 40 minutes of looking at muscles, and we're starting to catch up to all the things that we saw last week. So this is good. This is perfect. If we can just keep on top of the subreddit this way, it'll be real nice for every SWOLE Sunday coming forward. Such a tall trophy. It is really tall. You should have seen the pictures of him carrying it through the hotel. He was holding it, like, him and his manager each had it by one arm. Like, the thing is crazy big. Here, let me bring you back to me. Let me take the last sip of my protein too. Alright, that's it for SWOLE Sunday. We made it through 2 pages of bodybuilding subreddit. The point of today is meant to be more of a chill day, where we just get to sit back and look at muscles anyways. So, that's all I have. I'm going to be live again tomorrow at the same time. It'll be Minecraft Monday. And then I forget what comes after that, but it's on the schedule on Twitter. I'm Jeff McBiceps on Twitter and Instagram, which I don't use. And Twitch, which I don't use. And some other stuff too, I'm sure, that I signed up for with Jeff McBiceps and never use. But I'm Jeff McBiceps on all of them, that's for sure. So thanks for stopping by, everyone who stopped by. It was really fun to look at muscles, like it always is. My face is all kinds of off right now, I'm seeing. I'll have to do some calibration so that my face looks in the right spot and doesn't look too weird while doing it. But thanks again for stopping by. I will see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on Twitter, or I probably won't see you anywhere other than those 2 places. But I'll see you there, and I'll see you. Have a great night.